Let's bring in our counsellor's couch now, Clare Rowe, who's a child and adolescent psychologist on the desk with me, and also psychiatrist Dr. Tanvir Ahmed. How about that? He's an inspiring bloke, isn't he?
That was brilliant. I haven't heard him speak before like that, and just candidly like that, and he was great.
Talk about your father-son bonding, doing something useful together.
Well, hopefully that'll change the whole notion. We have the lexicon doing a Bradbury.
Yeah.
And really, that's what it should be. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well said. Great stuff. Now, let's get on to something that's not great. Let's talk about our education performance in this country. And Tanvi, your thoughts on the latest NAPLAN results. They say that 1 in 3 of our kids is falling behind on maths and English. All the money we put into education, all the talk, all the policies, we're going backwards.
Look, some key points here. So we're actually expecting higher standards in these NAPLAN, these changed NAPLANs. And suddenly there's quite a few people, we realise, that aren't reaching those standards. So that's actually a good thing. We've got higher expectations in this NAPLAN, and we're uncovering more people struggling. The other key thing in this, where sometimes there's a bit of a scattergun approach to the way we fund education. What's coming out of this is you actually need to target extra resources for the kids that are struggling. And the Education Minister was all over the media talking about this today as well.
We've done that forever, though, Claire, don't we? We know that. We know that they're in the lower socio-economic areas where kids are falling behind. That's where we should be trying to send the most resources and the best teachers.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, like I've been saying for a long time, I think the last generation coming through school since kind of late 90s, early 2000s has been a massive experimentation on teaching methods. You know, we've gone to far more student-led learning. Let's put all our desks facing each other. Let's have students kind of problem solve together. And we need to return to basic classroom fundamentals. We know that. And so the NAPLAN results are frightening. We're falling behind on the world stage. We've known this. And we can't just keep testing our kids for the point of testing unless it's going to change something. So Jason Clare came in and said, yeah, we're going to put in all these kind of small tutoring groups and get kids up to speed. Okay, we can get them up to speed, but what are we doing for the kids that are coming through now?
Yeah, and we all know that this is not something you just outsource to schools, right? We all know this has to be buy-in from parents.
Absolutely. I think we forget that in some of these debates. I mean, you look at lower socioeconomic groups, you'll get, you know, like a lot of, say, Asian families, for example, or ethnic groups, they'll often have the label lower socioeconomic. They'll be doing, you know, they'll have very few resources, yet they'll have parents and families so committed and a stable household, all of those sort of things, and that's often the bedrock. And we forget that sometimes.
Well, speaking of Paul Murray, he and I were chatting out the back earlier today, and this should be like the national emergency. We know there's a lot for government to focus on. There's the cost of living crisis and our defence strategy and the voice and whatever. But this should be our number one priority. If you're talking about long-term productivity and the future of this nation, we've got to educate our kids because other countries are.
Yeah. This is urgent. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much more we can say it and results can show it that this is urgent. Someone I was talking to on the weekend was shocked when I was telling them that many kids I see leaving, say, Year 6 onto Year 7 high school, and I do educational testing with kids regularly, can't tell the time on analogue clocks, can't count money, they have no idea what a Roman numeral is. I'm talking 12, 13-year-olds.
Wow.
You know, they have no idea of that stuff. They can't spell.
TikTok videos.
They can do TikTok videos. That's great. Where's the HSC subject to,
exactly.
for TikTok?